Good morning. It is Sunday morning, and I thought maybe I would do my little chit-chat, unrehearsed, unscripted, off the cuff, about something that's been bothering me. And that is, people tend to believe they are not as good as they really are. There's one line in one of the so-called sacred books: we have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. And because of that, people have a tendency to doubt themselves, to doubt their goodness, their compassion. Well, it's in a book, granted, but just because something is in a book doesn't make it so. You have got to remember that a lot of people look to the Bible as their sacred book. Well, that's the same book that has been used for some of the worst atrocities on mankind ever. That's the same book that was used to perpetuate slavery and the continuation of slavery because it was God's edict. So just because something is a book does not necessarily mean that is so. As a matter of fact, one of the most beautiful books, and here again I'm trying to illustrate a point, is the Satanic Bible, written by Anton LaVey. If you have never read that book, you should. And I'll tell you why. Because some of the most beautiful virtues ever is in that book. But then you take a look at the book of itself, and it might give a lot of people cause for a pause. Here's what I'm saying. In my opinion, and this is a belief, just like you have a belief based on the same book I just talked about that fanned the flames of hate, you are divine. That is my belief. You, as an individual, you are divine. I absolutely believe that if there is a God, what I call the universal intelligence, he would have written his words on your heart. In every single human being, in every single country, all over the world. Not just a specific tribe of people, not just at a specific time in history, and not just at a specific geographic location. You are reading a book that is almost exclusively written for a specific people at a specific time at a specific geographic location. I, for one, believe that the world is millions, if not billions of years old. It did not start 7,000 years ago. So you may want to take a look at what you believe and really take a look at it in a very analytical way. Okay, so having said that, it is also my belief that that spark of divinity inside of you will grow and grow and grow, because I think mankind is a spiritual being occupying a physical body. That's my personal belief. And you are free to prove me wrong if you'd like. So I think that mankind is on a path of becoming like God. I'm not talking about that man-made God, the one that every single religious leader, every founder in every generation created a God in mankind's own image. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about every individual, you specifically, becoming like the Creator. I actually believe that. And we're not talking about 7,000 years ago. We're not talking about that Creator. We're talking about the real universal intelligence that have been around for millions of years. So, that is my personal belief. Now, the other thing that I absolutely believe is that God is good. Again, that universal intelligence is good. All you have to do is take a look at nature. Nature follows certain rules. Rules of mathematics, rules of physics, rules of biology, rules, absolute rules. And I think that universal intelligence also does the same. They're spiritual guides, spiritual rules. I believe that. So, what I believe is that you are good, God is good, good is God. So therefore there is absolutely no reason whatsoever that you cannot become divine. Look, there was a man called Jesus who became the Christ. Okay? Siddhartha became the Buddha. Anthony Paul Mu Young became Muji. An individual person becomes a divine person. The Dalai Lama is a man of flesh and blood, but he has become a divine being. There is no reason whatsoever that you cannot do the same. That's my belief. So, now you know. It's Sunday morning, and I believe wholeheartedly that you, the person listening to this, is a compassionate person, a kind person, a person who is sharing, a person that is all good. You got to remember that in one of the sacred books, God is walking among the garden, so the tale goes anyway. He's walking among the garden, supposedly where the Sumerians started, between the Tigris and the Euphrates. That's right. So God is walking among the garden, and he asks mankind, where are you? That supposedly is the first recorded question to mankind. Where are you? I think we all get lost when we move away from ourself. We get lost. And that is my beliefs. So you may ask yourself, where am I? And if you cannot define where you are specifically, as far as your spiritual growth is concerned, you may want to look into that. Because there's a second part to all this. As God asks the mankind, where are you? God's second question is, who told you? Who told you that you were naked? Right? So people get lost because they listen to the voices of others. That's my belief. When it is so simple not to do that. So how do you know what words to listen to? It's very simple. Microdacism's rule 1 and 2. First of all, discover who you are, yourself. And second of all, be true to yourself. And the absolute sure way of doing that is to meditate. Get inside yourself. You be still, be silent, go into solitude and listen to that wee, small voice inside of you. That's how that is done. Meditate daily. Earlier I said that the universal intelligence wrote his words on the heart of mankind all over the world at the same time, in the same way. And all we have to do is revert back into that humanity that we know. Stop listening to other people. I think we make errors when we listen to others. And in making errors, we become lost. So that's my word this Sunday morning.